Hello. Oh, Lindsay says she'll go with you, Sonia. I don't know if you saw that or not. Lindsay wants to go to Sturgis with you. Okay. Hi, guys. It's our last Sunday power plan for the month of July. That sentence alone is terrifying to me. I feel like summer is slipping away and I hate it. Um, but there is an exciting, we have like what do we have? 3 full days? Yeah, 3 full days left of July to prep for, and then a whole brand new month, which is always exciting to get ready for a new month. Um, so what I want to start with first, really quickly, today is the last day for that 20% free shipping. So hopefully you have sent that out and you've talked to till you're blue in the face. I will share this. I can't remember the last, I shared it. I don't know if it was last Sunday or the week before when it was, but anyway, Miss Lisa Cook and I'd given her a little bit of a challenge, told her to share in one way, shape, or form every single day for 7 days this thing that she had prepared for shakes, like kind of marketing the shakes as like a Neapolitan Sunday. It was super cute. I was looking for it. So every single day I was looking for it, and every single day she was sharing it. And we are connected on Facebook, right? We are very connected. I saw it twice. So when you start thinking I'm talking about Thrive too much, these people already know what I do, or these people already know something's going on. They don't, and you're not, and you need to keep talking about it. There is so much competition for the attention of the person reading and watching and following, that even when somebody is seeking you out, in that case, I was seeking her out. I only saw it twice. So keep that in mind. Okay. I just think that's important to share. I'll probably share that every week for the next 3 years of my life because I think it's so important. So with that in mind, now we will dive in. I want you to go ahead and log into your cloud if possible. We're going to do rate of run, and with only 3 full days left, this is going to be pretty darn accurate. But so you're going to go on your your home screen for the cloud. Scroll down to where you see business snapshot. Click that gray bar that says business snapshot, and it's going to drop down more information. Now you're going to see green, orange, and gray. That's your PPA. That's telling you how many new customers or first time orders, I should say. Below that, there is a chunk of information called qualifications. Look for the line that says current QV. That is what you and your entire downline, whether it's your customers or your promoters and their customers, that's what's under you as a sales organization so far for the month. So you're going to take that number and you're going to divide it by 28 because today is the 28th of the month. And now you're looking at a much smaller number, right? Because we divided it by 28. You're going to multiply that small number by 31. And now you are looking at what you are estimated to end the month at. And I do always say it's an estimate because nothing in life is guaranteed, especially when it comes into business. But with only 3 days left, this is probably a pretty accurate representation of where you're going to land. So I know we still have a few days to talk about this kind of stuff, but when you're looking at that number, are you close to the volume that you set as your goal? Now, notice, I did not say, are you close to a rank? Not everyone is going to be shooting for a rank every month. If you are between 4K and 12K, you're probably thrilled with 6K or 8K or whatever. And I see people actually give up and quit because they're at like 8K instead of 12. But you can't get to 12 if you can't accomplish 8. So make sure you're setting yourselves goals every single month. And if you're like, I've never even been 4K, okay, well, Sally, let's start with 1K, right? Like set a goal so you have something to work with, you have something to bounce your numbers off of. So again, the number you're looking at is not guaranteed, but it is most likely where you're going to be. So are you close to your goal? Do you have your two? So if you want to be considered, there are still some people confused by this. If you want to be paid as a 4K or higher, you not only have to have the 4K or higher volume, you have to have 2 personal customer orders under you. So you have to be referred to basically to be making 4K or higher. You could literally have $80,000 in volume under you. And if you only have 1 personal customer order, you're going to get paid as a brand promoter, and that will affect your paycheck incredibly. So please make sure you have at least 1 to be considered qualified and active, but 2 if you're going to be 4K or higher on your volume. Make sure you have your personal PV of $100, which if you've got you're 1 or 2 customers, you most likely have that. But just keep an eye on those things as these next few days come up. And then now that you know that about yourself, now you can check on your team as well. You can peek in your team and say, who doesn't have or who does have. So real quick, just so you guys understand how you can find that pretty easily in the cloud. Crap, it logged me out again. Sorry, let me get logged back in. All right. Okay, so for this one, I like to go to my team, and I go to my sponsorship team. And it populates it for you by promoter number, which is great and good. But I like to scroll over to the right a little bit to where it says customer orders. I click that button twice. Okay, click it twice, and it's now going to populate it for you. And it's going to show you who in your downline, how many custom orders they have. So for example, 8, 6, 3, 2, 1, and 1. So I'm going to go over here and look at the girls that have 1. And they are not above 4K, so it's not an issue. Now I'm looking down here. So then the other thing I like to do, right? So we've done customer orders. Now I go over to the bar where it says current QV. I click it twice. Now I'm looking at people's volume. And I don't see anyone super close to hitting a new rank that I need to be like, hey, did you know you're close to it? And then back at the top, I go to the bar that says current PV. I click it twice. And now I see I have somebody with a lot of volume under them and 0 PV, which means they need to get jiggy and get an order or 2 so that they can earn commissions next month. So this is just a way to cross-check. And this is, again, I'm just in my sponsorship. Like I go to my team and I go to sponsorship, and then I kind of play around with those just to kind of keep an eye on stuff. And just let me say this really quickly. It is 1,010% not my responsibility to tell someone, hey, you don't have your PV, or hey, you don't have enough customers. It's not. I do that for my own personal good, right? I want as many qualified and active lines under me. So if you're thinking, gosh, I can't keep track of a team, I can't keep track of these people, it's not, you don't have to. I absolutely do not have to reach out and tell these people that. I've done this now for a really long time, and I do. And eventually you would probably also, but just know it's not my responsibility. It is the promoter's responsibility. So that's why I'm telling you, make sure you have your 2 customers, make sure you have at least $100 in PV, make sure you've got the volume goal for whatever you might be chasing or trying to qualify for or whatever. But I also do some cross checks at the end of the month for my team. So with that said, any questions about Rate of Run? I know we do it every week, and you guys probably know it like the back of your hand, and you're like, why does she make us do it? But I do it every week too. So, okay. All right, looking ahead to the week, I've got crap all over my desk. Tomorrow we have our team Zoom. Tuesday we have our team rally, as well as the team huddle will be at noon. Wednesday we have a team huddle also. I don't know, Sonia, we're not doing a speed round this week, right? That was last week. You do ever? Okay, so we don't have a speed round. So I am free Wednesday evening if somebody wants to do a speed round. If you need help with that, let me know. Obviously Monday through Friday, excuse me, we always have the power plan at 9 a.m. that you could all hop on. If you miss it, the recordings are available. If you can't find them, let us know. I think they're all private now because Lavelle asked us to do that. But when I rattle off all of these trainings that you can be a part of, remember, it's something you can be a part of, not something you have to be a part of. I will say Tuesday night you'll want to be a part of. And obviously Monday afternoon, because that's me too. But you do you, but show up and stay connected and stay plugged in when you need it. If you've ever thought, man, I'm kind of in a lull, or man, I haven't been touching my business lately, that's a definite red flag for you to get on some sort of training and get reconnected, not only to your business, but to your community. And if you can't do it live, there's plenty of replays, an enormous amount of replays. But then that leads us into August 1st. So I want to spend sorry, Sonia. I mean, we can do one, but I don't have a Thrive. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. That's up to you. If you want to do one, let me know. But yeah, you won't get like credit for it. August 1st. So I just want you to spend a couple of minutes. I'm actually going to be quiet, shockingly. for a couple of minutes, and I want you to think about August of 2024. Okay. Not what's going on in your life, not what's going on in anybody else's life, not what's currently going on in your business. I want you to think, what do I want to occur in my business in August of 2024? What am I aiming for? How many customers do I want? How many new promoters do I want? What kind of volume do I want? How many times do I want to go live? How many times do I want to talk? Not talk. Well, yeah, put people in three-way chats, like chat with people, talk with people. Am I stepping up and volunteering to do any sort of team training? Like, I want you to think about that. So again, I'm going to zip it for 2 minutes. You guys make yourself some notes, think, and I'm going to do the same. Okay, so I know that was only 2 minutes, but hopefully that gave you a little bit of time to think ahead, think about August 2024, jot down some of your goals, start getting your mind wrapped around this new month that's coming. I do not want you to lose track of the current month that you're in, obviously, but I always want you to be thinking ahead. So speaking of the current month that we're in, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen real quick, and we're going to take a peek at the last 3 bingo cards of August, is wherever they are. There they are. Okay. I'm so slow someday. All right, here we go. July 29th, that's tomorrow. Again, I'm not going to call everything out. I'm just going to point out the highlights to you. You are going to be going live on Facebook. You're going to share something from your brand or your July passion project. We're going to do a social media post with an unpopular opinion staying in your brand. I don't know that I have to say this, but I am going to say this. I would highly encourage you to not go political in any way, shape, or form when you talk about an unpopular opinion. Okay? Okay. Point of view, easy peasy. You guys can do that. We're going to work on creating a reel that emphasizes the freedom to work and grow your business while traveling or enjoying time with home or family. A lot of you, I already know this from your stories over the weekend, spent time with family or friends or traveling or both.
Oh,
you already have a slew of pictures or videos or something on your phone that you could use for your reel. You're going to be sending your closest working upline your August business goals. So you're welcome. We've already worked on those together. You can fine tune them before you send them, but now you've had time to think about that. Notice we say your closest working upline because, you know, there's a lot of orphans out there. I'm an orphan. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. So if you're feeling like an orphan and you feel woe is me, like, girl, get your head out of your butt. It's the best thing that could ever happen to you because now you have to run your own business. but reach up to your closest working upline so they can support you with your goals. So Monday did not look hard to me. I hope it didn't look hard to you. Tuesday, more behind the scenes. We're asking a question in our group. This is a mistake because it says that we're sending out a Sunday focus post, and clearly this is going to be a Tuesday. So whoever helped me proof my cards this month, you're fired. We're going to use ChatGPT to come up with some ideas for our ideal.
That was me. I'm fired.
Oh, you are fired, girl. It's okay. We still gonna love you. It's not on here because apparently I really did screw up the end of July. But anyway, Tuesday night. Wow, this says Sunday power plan. Anywho, Tuesday night is the team rally, and we're going to be doing some ChatGPT things. So if you spend that time doing your 5 real ideas with ChatGPT and you show up at the team rally, then you're going to be really excited because you're already going to have a lot of the stuff done. And then you'll be able to move on to the next step that we're going to talk about. Yeah, and I guess on Tuesday, screw it, just pretend it's Sunday because that's how the whole thing is set up. Let's see what the 31st says. It says it's a Monday. I should probably change these cards, but we'll figure this out. Lindsay, did you already schedule all of these to go into the team page?
Did.
I feel like I should change Tuesday and Wednesday while we have time.
Okay, I can redo them because apparently they're not showing up because I saw that Sandra had to post one the other day because my scheduling is like jacked up. So it's no big deal.
Okay. All right. Well, let me fix Tuesday and Wednesday and then you can reschedule them. So ignore the cards. Anyway, guess what? Tuesday and Wednesday is gonna be a total surprise for you, and I'm super excited about that. Okay, enough of those. Sonia is our guest. Oh yeah. So Tuesday, Sonia is going to be sharing on the team rally, which I'm super excited about. Charlene says, I was an orphan until Lindsay and you all took me in. See, it's the best thing that ever happened to you, right? I mean, what more could a girl ask for? So I'm not going to tell you what's happening in August, but I am going to tell you we are going to be mixing some things up. Some things are changing. And do not send me a message as soon as the Zoom is over and ask me what it is, because I'm not going to tell you, okay? But just know we're mixing things up in August. So you want to be on the rally Tuesday night to find out about stuff. I know from all the faces on here, that you are all also I think, in the running or trying to be in the running or whatever the right word would be for the leader retreat, and that is going to be getting wrapped up as well. So I just want to say, because I for the first time got to see the competition, and you guys are freaking fierce. So I love that. Like, I think it's awesome that it was like people worked so hard at it. So anyway, that's going to get wrapped up. Things are going to be a little different in August. But I think what's most important for you guys right now is to look at what that rate of run said you're possibly going to end at. And only you know, is it close to where you want to be? Is it far away from where you want to be? And here's my tip. If it's close to where you want to be, put your nose to the floor and go. You have 3 whole days. I don't even care if you're like, no, it's like 2,000 away or it's 4,000 away. If you are determined, you can figure it out. Right? You can push. Worst case scenario, you end short, but you go into August with unbelievable momentum because you went balls to the walls the last 72 hours, right? Yola says, the contest has taken me out of my comfort zone for sure. I'm a live, real story fiend. LOL. Well, good. That's the whole idea, was to get activity being produced. I will just throw this out to everyone. Please, on August 1st, just because there's no qualifications for our leader retreat, keep doing your activity. Don't stop, okay? Because leader retreats are great, but I will tell you from the heart of hearts right here, as much as I love a trip and as much as I love a leader retreat and all that jazz, I love my paychecks that allow me to take myself on a retreat. So if you are only ever working for somebody to treat you to a trip, start working for yourself. And start showing up for yourself, because that will actually allow you the ability to be like, oh, the retreat sounds nice, but this week in Mexico sounds better. And that's what I'm going to go do, right? Give yourself the options and the freedoms by actually working for yourself and not for a trip. Charlene says, no way. This is a great help in making me more part of my daily lifestyle. It makes me so much easier. I'm sticking with it. It's becoming easier, says Yola. Good. Okay, so back to my thing. So if you've got 3 days left and you're close, balls to the wall. All right. If you have 3 days and you are so far from your goal that you're not even sure where your goal came from, it's time to sit down and have a real good heart to heart with the girl in the mirror and be like, what are we doing? What can we do more of? Are we standing in our own way? What is holding us back? What is distracting us? What excuses are we currently using? Right? You're going to have that conversation, because if you're really, really far from your goal, and it's not to say that people aren't working, because I know a lot of people who work, but there's always going to be a missing piece. Like I always know when my business isn't right, as much as I feel like I'm doing all the things, something's not right. And it's going to be different for everybody. I'll be very vulnerable. I shared with Lindsay the other day, I have done 2 to 3 reels every single day for over a year, but my business does not show that. And so there's something missing, and it's up to me to figure it out. It's up to me to dig in and find out what the heck is missing. Right? So if you're not where you want to be, just stop and think. You can't yes, they say the best copycat wins in this business. I get that to an extent, but at the same time, because we do use social media to build our business, if you're just constantly being a copycat, it's really hard to be authentic and genuine, which I think is obviously what drives business on social media these days. So I personally think in my situation that I have spent so much time doing the reels and the social media stuff that I've not had enough conversations. So I've not had enough conversations that lead to sales, because by the time I get conversations started, it's time to make another reel. It's time to make another reel that afternoon. Lindsay says, hardest convo to have, but I got to do it. That meeting in the mirror can help you in so many ways, and pat yourself on the back on the work that you need, on the work, and work on what you need more of, etc. Yes. And I don't want to say when you have that conversation in the mirror that you need to just nitpick yourself and be like, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Like, do say, like, I'm proud of myself. 2 to 3 reels a day. I got, Lord, there's a lot of stuff on the internet now that has my name on it that is still, and I will say, here's the beautiful thing. It has brought new people into my life. It has widened my network. I do have more followers, but that's where I've stopped. That's where I have to figure out how to get all these new people. I have a ridiculous amount of new people. I have to figure out how to get them from, wow, she's fun, I like her, to I want to buy her stuff. Right? So that's just me being vulnerable in my process of where I'm at. And so I'm not saying for people to stop doing reels, because you've got to grow your network. If you don't have new eyeballs on you at all times, you're not going to grow your network. Your aunt, your cousin, and your best friend and the girl at work down the hall, they're sick of you. Okay. They've seen you, they know what you're doing. And if they're not joining you, take the hint. Right? I'm not saying give up on people, but stop talking to them about the product. They'll come around eventually, or they'll never come around. There's no reason to waste time on that. I feel like audience fatigue is a real thing right now. Yes, that's a perfect word. I always forget that, audience fatigue. So you got to build your audience. And that's where I was. I needed to build my audience, and Lord knows I have built them. They are there. And I do have lots of conversations, but now I have to learn how to take that conversation into my realm and bring them in. I've got to get more direct with my sales. So anyway, that's me. That may not be you. You may be having killer conversations right now and signing customers up at 1 a week. Like, keep doing what you're doing, right? Maybe you feel like you don't have a lot of audience, and so you do need to be the one to dive in. We're all in different phases of our business constantly. We will never all be in sync. I mean, thank God, because could you imagine? Could you imagine if we all were having a hard time at the same time? That would be bad. But so have the heart to heart with yourself. What have I done really well? What can I continue to do? What used to be really hard for me, and now I'm like, oh, I got that. Right? And that, for me, that was reels. They were so hard when I started. So hard. And now I can pretty much do a reel while making dinner, feeding the dogs, and folding clothes at the same time. Right? But what's hard for me now? Turning that new follower into a customer. So that's what I have to focus on. So what do you need to focus on? Right? I'm going to celebrate. You're not going to, I'm still going to be making reels, still going to be out there doing that stuff. But behind the scenes, I'm going to be focusing more on my conversation. So what do you need to be focusing on more? Right? And I will throw this out too. There are a lot of you that might straight up just need to be focusing on yourselves. You may need to be focusing on your self-esteem. your confidence, your motivation, your connecting to your why, right? Some of you may not have clear goals, and until you get all that stuff in place, you're not going to get to where you want to go either. So it could be that you need to be working. Sonia says yes to all of these. Oh, Yola says, I am proud that I stuck with it. I will continue to. Good. Did I already read that? Yeah. So yeah, so it, again, what am I doing great? What do I need more of? Business-wise, personal life, mentally. You guys, business is mental. Surely by now you all know that. It's all mental. You got to learn to take no's, you got to learn to take yeses, you got to learn to take wins, you got to learn to take losses. And the whole time you have to stay in your lane, and you got to remember who you are, and you got to remember where you're going and keep going forward, right? It's like when you, so like today we were driving home from our little, we had a little getaway, and you know, there was like the concrete barrier here, and there were the semis here, and there was like the cars, and there was, it was the whole thing, you know. My only goal, regardless of all the shit going on around me and all the wild drivers, was to keep it between the lines, not hit that concrete and not hit that semi, right? And that's your business. You're going to have stuff thrown at you. You're going to have weird, crazy things, but you got to keep it in the line and keep going forward. I could have stopped and panicked and caused an absolute pileup on the highway, right? I could have wussed out, slowed down a ton, slowed everybody down, gotten over and gotten off the highway, but I would still have to get back on to get home, right? Or plow ahead and get home. And I plowed ahead and I got home. I think when we got out of it, Tom's like, good job. I was like, I got you. I can drive this thing. But think of that when it comes to your business, when stuff is going on around you. If it's a crazy customer, it's the same as a crazy driver. When you drive home at night from work and a crazy driver cuts you off, do you stop and say, guess I better go back, I can't go home tonight? No. You're like, wow, you're a nut. Get off the road, and you get yourself home. So why, when a crazy customer says something or does something, do you allow that to knock you back? Right? These are conversations. I love all that we do. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read comments and talk at the same time. So yeah, so I want you guys to have a conversation. I will be having my own conversation, as I do pretty much daily in the mirror. But what are you doing good? What could you do better of? What did you just write down for your goals for August? And did you write them down confidently? Did you write them down because you're like, well, I just had to write something down? Did you not write shit down? Where you're like, I'm not really on the Zoom tonight, I'm doing other things. Sonia's like, I did. Right? I mean, and I'm not saying that to be mean. There have been many a Zoom I've been on and not on, right? So this is your business. What are you going to do with it in August? And we're not going to worry about what went well or didn't go well in July, right? Obviously, if it went well, you're going to do that. You're going to do more of it. But what didn't go well, we're going to not. I find that when something doesn't go well, people talk about it, and they think about it, and they remember it, and they keep bringing it up versus taking it on as the challenge that it is and finding a way to fix it, right? If every time a doctor had a patient that didn't get well, all he did was focus on that versus trying to dig and get to the reason the patients weren't well and figure it out, right? Somebody's going to come out better that way, right? If somebody can take that challenge. So remember, it's your business. You got to figure out what you're going to do with it. And we are shaking things up in August. So be on the team rally Tuesday night to cheer Miss Sonia on. And just so you know, Sonia has no idea what's coming either. She just knows what she's coming to the rally to talk about. She don't know the rest of that. And good luck to all of you for the trip or the leader retreat that's coming up. So we'll, what, Wednesday's the last day? I don't know, Lindsay. I don't know exactly when you're going to announce who. I know we have 3 days. I'm going to end with this. You have 3 days to get your ass on that trip. And just because you've met, maybe you've met all the qualifications, the girl down the hallway may have doubled them. So take that to bed with you tonight. All right. Love y'all. Bye.